Shaitan again, bringing you another game from the series between Stephano and sLivko from ESWC group stages. This time on Shakuras Plateau, we have Stephano in the top left spawning position and sLivko in the bottom right, so they are spawning cross-map. Hopefully I picked the right game, and we don't end up with an untenable situation in terms of the order of viewing, but right now we do have Stephano up 1-0, so we will see how this series goes, how this game goes, what sort of builds they're going to choose to do. On Shakuras Plateau, you oftentimes will see hatch first. The natural ramp is fairly easy to defend with spine crawlers. You can even build a sort of makeshift wall if you want to. And so you could see an early pool from one of the players theoretically, but it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing that from either player. Both players have already built their first overlords. They're continuing to drone off. They're both up to 12 or 13 right now. We can see a little bit of a difference right now. So Stephano's drones are a little bit slower than sLivko's, and that's because Stephano has his larva spawning on the bottom of his hatchery away from the mineral patches, while sLivko has them spawning right by the mineral patches. But we do see that sLivko is going to be taking his hatchery right away before his pool. Nothing really too unexpected. That's very odd, actually. He took his pool. I wonder how he did that. So he's going to be going pool, then gas. A lot of times this points to roaches just because of the way that the timing works out. Oh, sorry, that was Stephano. My mistake there. So Stephano is dancing around here just in case his opponent was going for the hatch first to delay it as much as possible. While hopefully, you know, over on his side, he would take his own hatchery, delaying his opponent by a few valuable seconds. But we see that sLivko actually went pool, then gas. He is mining from his gas. Stephano, meanwhile, has gotten his own pool up. It's about a minute behind his opponents, but we will be seeing Stephano should be able to hold this off just as long as he doesn't get too greedy and overmakes drones. He will be able to make some Zerglings and defend fairly easily just because of how far sLivko's slowlings will have to travel. And you can see that the first 2 and first 4 are out right now. Stephano's pool is about 20 seconds away from completing. It'll probably finish right around when the Zerglings reach, maybe right around here. Let's go with that sort of a guess. And he'll be able to see this coming because he has his Overlord out right here, and he'll be able to respond appropriately. And we see 4 lings coming out for Stephano and a queen. He will be more than prepared to defend against this. Now the real risk he has to worry about is his opponent going ahead and making banelings and hitting him before his own baneling nest comes up. So I wouldn't be opposed to Stephano dropping a spine collar right there, the natural. We see that sLivko is able to scout in the main. He actually has this Zergling over here scouting around everywhere while the rest of the Zerglings drive out sLivko's lings. And Stephano is actually going to have a little bit of damage on the Zergling. It doesn't look like he's going to lose it. No, oh, actually he does. Interesting. Nicely done by sLivko there. We can see that he actually did take out a worker. He's up 2 workers right now, and Stephano really has to play a little bit defensively right now. He can't afford to get too many drones, and if he wants to play absolutely safely, just because he isn't really all that sure what his opponent is doing. If we look, he does know that his opponent has this hatchery going because of this Overlord probably, but he doesn't know if his opponent's actually going to transfer any drones there, if he's going to just go all in with slings and blings. So he does need to be a little bit wary, you know, play somewhat defensively, get a baneling nest. It looks like that is going to be coming. He has mined 200 gas almost. I'm kind of surprised the nest isn't down already, and we do see it go down, but sLivko's nest is already done. One thing that is useful to do in a ZvZ is position an Overlord behind your opponent's natural mineral patches, and then you can sort of see, is he droning up there? What sort of saturation does he have? So right now you can see he only has 4 or 5, and Stephano has is going to be at about the same level of saturation. They're basically even on drones, 24 to 26, sLivko having a slight lead, and so you can probably be fairly certain that your opponent hasn't sacrificed all that many drones for lings, and you can feel fairly safe droning up yourself. But Stephano doesn't have that, so he's kind of having to play this by sort of feeling, and his feelings are correct in this case. They're again basically even on drones. sLivko with a slight lead, and both of them are transitioning into speedlings and banelings. This is going to be very effective, both offensively and defensively. It's really going to depend on who can control their units better. We do see Stephano morphing in some banelings outside his opponent's natural, but I think this spine crawler should be up. It's going to be close. It won't be up in time for these lings, but it's going to come up, and it'll be able to deal with these banelings when they come, assuming they're properly targeted. And we'll see, 1 goes down, 2, 3 maybe? Okay, so all of them go down. sLivko didn't lose any of his banelings. That's going to be very, very good for him. We actually see the Stephano is supply blocked. He doesn't have an overlord coming at all. So a little bit of a blunder there. He is going to be ahead significantly in drones. That looks like this big boost. They'll probably be about even in drones. But sLivko held off that first little push from Stephano. He suffered absolutely no losses there. He might have lost a ling or two, but none of his banelings died, which is really the important thing. And now sLivko is going to be able to pick off this queen. Stephano is going to try and send a couple of lings maybe to take him out, but sLivko has his own lings there to defend. But sLivko is getting up his lair a lot faster than his opponent. It's about 30 seconds ahead of his opponent. So we'll see what he decides to do with it. He does have both his gases again there, and both of them at the natural. He's getting a second and third spine crawler, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Mutalisks coming out of sLivko again. Mutalisks have become very popular in ZvZ after the Infestor change. The Infestors aren't able to hold them quite as long, so you can't do damage to them with Queens, Hydras, etc. And just the ability of Mutalisks to keep your opponent in their base is very valuable. It lets you have the same sort of map control that you do almost in ZvT, and take your third, maybe even take your fourth, etc. We do see that Stephano is transferring over to his third, which he has taken well before sLivko. He's going to be up almost before sLivko's is down. But sLivko is really going to be banking on building up a lot of gas, getting this Spire up, I think he'll probably have enough for 10, maybe 11 Mutalisks, and just sort of relying on this 5 spine crawler wall and a couple of Zerglings and Banelings to defend him while he gets these Mutalisks out. Now he's going to check for if this base, now he does know that the base is down, so he's going to go in for a bit of a counterattack, but Stephano does have Banelings right here, and this could be deadly. Ooh, very nice right there. That's why you always want to send one Zergling in ahead, just to sort of scout around so that that doesn't happen. But we do see the Spire is about to be finished. He'll have enough for 11 Mutalisks. Very, very nice stockpiling of resources there. And Stephano's, this time, 6 Roaches and a Baneling are not going to be enough to break through this wall. Now, he is going to have to be worried about the natural expansion, which Stephano does know is there. So that's probably what Stephano is going to be going for. Now, it looks like he's going to come back. I wonder why. What clued him up? No, he's going back over there. But the Mutalisks are coming out. There's 12 of them on the way. In terms of Harvesters, it's fairly even, and we'll see what Stephano decides. He's going to go up here and do damage to this expansion. There's some Spine Crawlers on the way, but it looks like the Roaches will be able to clean it up. Stephano's just going to do some superficial damage. He took out a Queen. He might be able to take out a Spine Crawler, maybe both of them, but really nothing all that important. Now, the important thing, though, is that sLivko was forced to use these Mutalisks in defense. So that means that they weren't over here harassing. That's giving Stephano time to get up Spore Crawlers. It looks like, is he making any more Queens? No, he's going to have just the 4 Spore Crawlers and some Queens for defense. And really that's all he's going to be relying on. He is continuing this aggression into the third base for sLivko. sLivko has taken this fourth as well. So he's doing a very, very nice job of keeping sLivko in his base out of his base with these Mutalisks, and he's actually going to be able to take this third base down, which is very, very nice. And now he's going to sort of come up here. He's going to see that the fourth is being taken as well, and I don't think he'll be able to take this out, but very, very nice delaying tactics from Stephano. He's also getting up this Hydralisk Den, so he should be more than prepared for sLivko's Mutalisks when they fly over. But the thing is now there's 18 of them. They're going to have +1 in about 2 minutes. So it might be that he's just given him too much time to drone up, and so he's going to be able to do damage even with all the preparations that Stephano made. And we see he's just going to focus on the Spore Crawler. It's going to go down shortly. And I wouldn't be surprised if after that he goes for the Hydralisk Den. There are 6 Hydralisks on the way, but he doesn't have Groove Spine on the way. He's going to lose Queens. And I think Stephano might have just really lost the game. He didn't sort of treat the Mutalisks with the respect that they deserved, and now the 18 Mutalisks are just going to be able to wreak havoc on Stephano's forces. He actually hasn't killed, I think he's killed like 2 workers maybe, but really just the fact that now Stephano is basically going to have to stay in his base. He does have 3 bases up, which is nice, so drones are fairly even, but sLivko can really do whatever he wants right now. Stephano, at the very least, is going to have to keep his Hydralisk in his base, and we see that sLivko's already up to 3 bases. He's getting his 4th. Now sLivko is going to counterattack into the 3rd. He did send up 1 or 2 Lings ahead of time. Very, very nice move there. I guess he decided to pull back when he saw these fine crawlers were here. They'd sort of mess with the AI of the Zerglings, and he'd have to do a bit of hold position over here to do anything worthwhile. But we do see sLivko is moving in again with the with the Mutalisks. He's going to try and take out an extractor. It looks like he's going to, and that's the other thing is that Mutalisks, they are going to lose to a big clump of Hydralisks. But 3, even 4, you can probably pick off fairly easily with 22. Now soon going to be 23 Mutalisks, and I think that Stephano really what he's going to need to do is build up a bunch of Hydralisks, and it looks like he's doing so, and then really just push out and almost force the base trade scenario and see how that goes, because he's not going to be able to really overcome this Mutalisk count. And so all he's going to be able to do is just build up Hydralisks as defense, but the Hydras aren't going to be able to force an engagement unless they go out of the base. But we do see the sLivko is making a bunch of Banelings. These are very, very effective against the Hydralisks, and even though Stephano is splitting as best as he can, he's not really able to do anything, and we see that just using these Banelings on everything he can, most of the Hydralisks go down, all of the drones are damaged, and it was a pretty nice defense from Stephano. He only lost 6 drones there, but he's down 60 supply right now, and sLivko is just remaxing, or not remaxing, just restocking, I guess, and going to do it again. He's going to make 24 Zerglings, and he's going to just make those into Hydralisks again, Banelings again, and the Banelings are very, very effective against the light Hydralisks. So that's one way of dealing with the Hydralisks, and probably the most cost-effective way is going Mutalisk Baneling, just because the Banelings can deal with the Hydralisks, and the Mutalisks can deal with everything else. Now the problem is, of course, with enough roaches, you can make it very, very cost-ineffective to use Banelings on a Roach Hydra army with proper positioning of your Hydras, putting them behind the Roaches, but I think sLivko just has too much infrastructure behind this, and Stephano is finally getting the Infestation Pit to hopefully hold these Mutalisks down, but it's not going to be there in time. This is probably going to be the last push. I don't know how I like him moving into the main, or into this like main force of Stephano's. Maybe go for the 3rd. It's much less well defended, but it's not really going to matter. So we see sLivko ties up the series 1-1, and this will go into a deciding game number 3.